hear him. There we go. Now I can hear himself. So I guess we could talk like this for a second and see if they come running in and be like, we can hear you outside.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
I could hear you great.
It's weird, I can't hear myself, but I can hear you.
I could hear myself.
I can hear myself only because I can hear myself. I'm not through my headphones.
Right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 100-meter World Champion here in Spartan. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the beautiful Hvar, Croatia. Today, at the pinnacle of speed, strength, and precision, where every second counts and every step is a battle. Today, some of the world's finest OCR and ninja athletes will take on the 100-meter Spartan obstacle race, a race that pushes the limits of what a human body can do. It's not just about speed, it's a race that requires skill, power, and focus under pressure. Each step is critical in a race that lasts just seconds, but feels like a lifetime of effort. And what makes today's event even more thrilling is a head-to-head duel format. Athletes will face off in knockout rounds, advancing through each stage until only top two remain for the ultimate showdown in the final. The stakes couldn't be higher, with the title of Spartan 100-meter World Championship and 20,000 euros on the line. Like Usain Bolt's legendary 100-meter sprints, these athletes will need explosive speed, agility, and precision to dominate each round and claim victory. In just 100 meters, they'll face obstacles that demand not only physical strength, but strategy and execution. This is Spartan at its finest, ladies and gentlemen, where champions are made in a matter of seconds. But first, let's take a look at beautiful Hvar, an island that offers a perfect backdrop for the Spartan race, a challenge that pushes athletes beyond their limits, from its stunning coastline to olive groves and ancient trails. This island paradise is where adventure and endurance meet. Get ready to conquer Hvar, where beauty meets beast. Valent, thank you so much for joining us today. Your incredible career has marked the Olympic goals and world championships. You've been a true champion and ambassador for Croatian sport on the global stage. Let's dive into your journey how you've helped promote Croatian sports around the world. I'm going to ask you a quick question real quick. As an Olympic gold medalist and world champion, you've represented Croatia in some of the biggest sporting arenas. How does it feel to carry the Croatian flag on such a global platform? And what kind of responsibility do you feel promoting Croatian sports internationally?
I mean, it's an incredible feeling when you cross the finish line at the Olympics and you become Olympic champion, and then your national anthem. You hear the national anthem. It's hard to explain that feeling. That's really proud. And then when you come back to Croatia and people saying that their kids want to go to rowing, you know, want to go to sport, and that's most important, I think.
You're always an inspiration, and you got to add another gold medal today with that beast.
Yeah, the beat was incredible.
Let me ask you one more question before you go. Today, with your brother, you've achieved remarkable success in rowing. What do you believe has been the key to your long-lasting success, and how do you maintain the motivation to keep performing at such a high level?
I mean, we are for the last 15 years at the top. I think consistency. Every day you need to do your best, and that's for us is the most important for sure.
I have one more question for you, my friend. Like I mentioned earlier, you're participating in the Spartan Beast here on Hvar, which is quite different from rowing.
Yeah.
How have you been preparing for this challenge, and what motivated you to take part in such a demanding endurance event?
I mean, I did some running, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I have good engine from rowing, you know, and it was beautiful. I enjoyed it whole way. It was tough at the end, I have to say, but the course is beautiful. You see all the islands and everything, all the beauty of Croatia, and I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you so much, Valent. And now let's take a look at the pre-qualifications.
Thank you.
Them adding the 100-meter is beautiful. They're very professional, and everyone, you know, loves the sport and loves this course, so it's going to go well.
I'm really exciting because I think it's a huge step forward for 100-meter runners, and yeah, we are beginning a new chapter.
It has been so beautiful here. I am so excited. The course looks amazing, and I can't wait to run with all of these awesome athletes.
We have qualifications from today's matchups, head-to-head. What a great day we've had so far. Check it out.
In just 100 meters, athletes will face 12 intense obstacles designed to push them to their absolute limits. Every second matters and every obstacle counts. Let's take a closer look at the obstacles that await. The course begins with agility and precision. Athletes leap from one staggered step to the next, making fast, calculated movements to stay ahead. Upper body strength takes center stage here. Athletes swing from bar to bar, keeping their momentum alive with each powerful grip, one after another. Next up, a 1.5 meter wall testing explosive power. A quick jump and pull are essential to clear this wall with speed. Focus and balance are everything on this narrow beam. Athletes must tread carefully, using their concentration to stay steady and move quickly. Now it's time for grip and timing. Athletes swing through 4 rotating wheels, moving with fluidity and strength as they transition from one wheel to the next. It's a taller challenge, 2 meters of vertical climb. Athletes will need serious power and technique to leap, grab, and pull themselves over this wall in seconds. Next, precision and agility are tested. Athletes leap across raised platforms with pinpoint accuracy, knowing that a misstep could slow them down. Grip strength and smooth transitions are key. Athletes swing from ring to ring, maintaining rhythm and power to reach the other side. Time to get down and dirty. Athletes hit the ground and crawl under a low barrier, testing their agility and core strength without losing speed. A true test of fingertip strength. Athletes grip a narrow ledge and must traverse the wall inch by inch, relying on their technique and grip control. Momentum is everything here. Athletes swing from one rope to the next, harnessing upper body power and perfect timing to carry them forward. And finally, the wave wall, a steep, curved wall that demands a sprint and a leap to grab the top. It's the last chance to show explosive speed and to finish strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now the moment you've been waiting for. Spartans, get ready to make history. Stay with us because the 100 meters is about to start any minute. Good luck.
Welcome to the 100-meter World Championship hosted by Spartan on Hvar, Croatia. We're here on the beautiful island of Hvar in Croatia, where yesterday we saw the qualifying rounds for the 100 meters, and soon we will see the incredible finals take place. We have athletes from around the world going head-to-head, and we've already seen some incredible feats of strength. I'm Francesca Curando, and I'm joined by Kevin Donahue.
Thank you so much for welcoming. You're not kidding. This rugged beauty is the perfect backdrop for today's modern Spartans to do battle on this very tricky 100-meter course.
Indeed, I like the way you say modern Spartans, because this is a new addition to the Spartan rotor of races. We know that Spartan Race already offers a whole array of distances, from the sprint, the ultra, but the 100 meters. This is the first time Spartan Race are hosting this 100-meter World Championship. We can see the athletes starting to gear up, ready to go. As you say, yesterday we went through the qualifying rounds. Today we've seen athletes go head-to-head, and you're joining us now for the female quarterfinal race. We're here with Mila Stanza from the UK and Kasia Jonesek from Poland.
Yeah, Kasia is the 2023 World Obstacle World Champion. She has multiple world championships. She's a 3-time European OCR champion, and she also at one point held the women's world record, and she's currently the World Obstacle silver medalist from the World Obstacle Championships in Costa Rica just a month and a half ago. Mila was injured at that 23 championships, and now she's making a comeback today.
Look at those biceps. She looks strong, and they both look ready to go. They are kicking off the quarterfinals here. The tension is high.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They set off with the offset steps, followed by the monkey bars. They power through this race, and you can see already Kasia has taken the lead ahead of Mila.
Yeah, the power of each of these athletes is definitely on point. Each one of them is a very powerful athlete, but every step is choreographed. Every move is pre-thought out. And every single apparatus that you could skip anywhere on this course is going to gain you time. And as you've seen, Kasia being able to skip things, made one move over those ledges.
You can see some of the athletes here, they barely touch the obstacles as they go through. One touch swinging and hitting that bell. And those moves, as you say, those very choreographed moves can lead to this victory. And we see here, round one, Kasia from Poland has taken the win. She will move on to the semi-finals.
And what you'll always see in the sport is the sportsmanship. Kasia waited for Mila to get across. Both of these women had to go through many preliminary rounds to get here, and we'll be able to get that a little bit more, but Kasia has been the #1 seed since the beginning.
Kasia did finish first in the qualifying round, so she is top, but we have some interesting athletes coming up in the next round.
some of the things to look for here as these matches go on is this right here, the rings. Out of all the obstacles, they're all important. So you could always make up time or lose time on them, but no obstacle will be more consequential today than these rings. You could gain or lose more time on this obstacle than any other obstacle in the competition.
I love the design of this course because straight after the rings you have the low net, which you were describing to me earlier, completely changes the stride of the race. The athlete has to get down, they have to get under the net, they can't just keep running forward. It really changes their pace, doesn't it?
It's a great test of upper body power too, to be able to push yourself up back into a sprint position and then transition into a different form of grip on those ledges that we saw, which we'll explain a little bit later.
Here we have Jalisa Himka and Lotte Kokomor from Germany, Jalisa from the USA.
This is actually Tiana Webberley from the USA versus Precious Cabuya, who is the current world record holder and the 2024 World Obstacle gold medalist, going up against 9-time Ninja Warrior Tiana Webberley from the United States, who took bronze at that same competition at World Obstacle in Costa Rica, and she has been a force ever since then. They call her Sweet Tea because of that smile. Each of these athletes have their foot pressed up against a buzzer. And if they leave early, it'll cause a false start, but they are both off on time.
They're both off, and they are neck and neck across the monkey bars, straight over the 1.5-meter wall and balance beam, tied.
Both of them hitting the bell at that same time, and now it's going to really come down to these rings. Who is more efficient?
This is where we might see it. Here we go. Precious going across those rings with absolute speed and precision.
It was that one backswing from Tiana that put her slightly behind, but Precious misses the bell.
Can she win it back? Is Tiana going to take it? Here she is going up that rock wall. That is a reasonably unexpected result.
That is 100-meter OCR. The unexpected is expected to happen. We'll get into some of the matchups we had before, but that is the reigning world record Precious Cabuya, record holder Precious Cabuya, going down to American Tiana Webberley. They have had battles in the past. Tiana always came out the bridesmaid. Today she is the bride. We have to go back to that bell though, because I did see movement in that bell. Whether the referees awarded it to her or not, it seems like they didn't, but I want you to look very closely. There is motion on that. Here we go. We're gonna get a look at it right now.
No, she did not touch
whiff.
that bend.
Clean whiff.
And that's another thing to mention. These races happen incredibly quickly. The referees here are working really hard, keeping their eyes on everything.
And that comes down, when you talked about in the opening about those obstacles, you mentioned the word precision.
Precision.
And that is as close as it gets. I mean, we're talking millimeters right there, and Tiana is absolutely shocked.
Tiana's just come back from the United States last week where she placed second to Jalisa Himka. So she's coming off a lot of work, probably some jet lag, but having had that right in her back, that she can succeed very closely against Jalisa Himka.
And like a lot of the athletes, like Jalisa Himka, they came directly from American Ninja Warrior in Vegas. So their arms are smoked. So they're running on pure fumes out here and showing a lot of heart while they do it.
Now we have Jalisa Himka on the right from the USA and Lotte Kokomor on the left from Germany.
Two of our youngest athletes, Lotte Kokomor, she is just 16 years old. And Jalisa Himka is one of the real up-and-coming athletes in the Ninja 100-meter world.
A lot of these athletes are quite young, aren't they?
The plasticity of their joints, the ability to jump up and down, the speed, the explosion really favors athletes that are under 20 years old. So a lot of the best athletes in the sport are still in high school or freshmen in college.
Athletes ready.
I don't know about you, but I feel the pressure every time they're waiting there with their foot on the bell.
Oh, it's gut-wrenching. And right now they're about even at that bell and right over the wall.
So Jaleesa placed second in qualifications and Lotta placed 7th, but they are running neck and neck, with Jaleesa just an inch ahead.
Just a little bit more power and hits that bell on the rings. Again, it comes down to the rings.
You can see the change happening. Jaleesa touching these obstacles slightly more than we've seen other athletes. Is she saving energy, or is this her technique?
You know what? Actually, at the way she just hit that buzzer and the way she attacked that and the way she's celebrating now, that was a full-out 100% effort. We had seen athletes in the preliminary rounds take their time and actually pay for it with losses. We had some big upsets earlier on. But right now, there's Jaleesa and Lotta. Lotta, again, just 16 years old. And the difference between a 16-year-old and maybe a 17 or 18-year-old at this level, it's big.
So you were telling me earlier about how the athletes, it's almost like a dance, isn't it? How they choreograph their moves from that very first step on that very first obstacle, how that can define whether they'll be successful or not from that first point.
It really does. But in this sport, there are two kinds of athletes. There's athletes that are willing to take a risk, and then there's athletes that are sitting in the spectator stands. You have to be able to take a risk in this sport and go above what your comfortability is if you want to beat the people that are better than you in the preliminary rounds. Jaleesa's been doing it all day, but we're gonna have to see some of these athletes as we go along. They're gonna have to take some major risks if they want to beat the likes of Jaleesa Himka.
Well, in the next round, we'll be seeing Jaleesa Himka and Tiana Webberley going up head-to-head. We're going to find out now who Kaja's going to be going against. We've got Team USA versus Team USA when we get to the final.
And that will be a rematch of that World Championship they had in Mammoth Lakes, California, literally just like 2 weeks ago.
1 week ago, and I can tell you that was a photo finish. They were very, very well matched. So this will be an incredible competition.
I am looking forward to it. But I'm really looking forward to these two athletes right now. Because we have Mecca, Cortizano right there from the Philippines. She's part of that powerhouse Philippine teams with the men and the women. They come like 20 athletes strong to every competition around the world.
They have been dominating today. And she's going up against Anna Garlacz from Poland. Mecca placed 4th in qualifying and Anna placed 5th. So these are almost the closest athletes that we've seen going against each other so far.
When it comes to the 100 meters, there's 3 countries that get named. It's the United States, it's the Philippines, and it's Poland. And Anna Garlacz really represents the best of that Poland team. And another one, 17 years old, Anna Garlacz. Clean start for both, even though those are different styles of starts.
But we're seeing Mecca she did have the lead there on the offset steps, but they have caught up now.
And Mecca's really showing off the power and explosiveness that the Philippines women are known for.
Anna managed to catch up a few times, but it looks like, I know it's always too early, but it looks like Mecca's running away with it currently. Can she hit that bell? She can.
She did. That was clean, and she is exploding towards the finish. She looks back at Anna Garlacz, hits that buzzer. Yeah, and she's celebrating. And she should, because Anna Garlacz was a big fish to fry, and in a place where that's known for seafood like Hvar, the Spartan race 100-meter world 100-meter championships, just so somebody fry a big fish. That was awesome. If you're noticing, like, some of these ladies just using less of the steps than they need to, and just massive jumps. Every single person in this race, if they want to look to make up time, they have to skip ones. And she skipped that first ring and exploded right to that bell.
I think what's important to mention here as well, because when you see athletes that are this accomplished, and we'll continue to see this throughout the competition, it's easy to misunderstand how much power is needed for this course. This is an incredibly difficult and technical course, and you can see that when you see the more average human take this on, how they will inch fingertip by fingertip across those boards, where you'll see athletes skip most of them and touch just one. This has been years of practice and dedication going into making this course a successful run, and there's a huge amount of the athleticism here and power going into success.
We're watching these ladies do this in sub 40 seconds consistently, right? Sub 40 seconds over 100 meters with 12 obstacles. The average obstacle course race athlete would probably take anywhere up to 2 to 2.5 minutes just to get through this clean. So they are doing this at a level that is just different from everyone else. So it's important, like you said, to put it into context how good they are.
So we can see here, obviously it's a head-to-head round, but we can also see people's times. But we can see some incredibly fast times there. Mecca with 33.653.
Mecca's time is 2 seconds off of Precious Cabuya's world record time of 31 seconds.
And Precious coming in at 41.848. That was, I mean, she made a mistake.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, that was it. I mean, she made the one mistake and out, and that's Tiana Webberley moving on. So we will have Jalisa Himka, like you said before, facing Tiana Webberley in the next round.
Jalisa Himka facing Tiana Webberley in the semi-finals, USA versus USA. And then we have Kaja Garlacz and Mecca Cortizano going against each other. But now we are on to the men.
We are on to those men.
From the United Kingdom,
Oliver, he's only 17 years old.
He has a lot of age group success, European Championship in the 3K age group, British champion in the 3K age group, and world champion in the 100-meter youth category.
Yeah, Kevin Rodriguez, he's an up-and-coming ninja. He's a free spirit, young kid, very explosive. Oliver beat one of his countrymen to get into this place. Let's see if he could beat the American Kevin Rodriguez. Look at that intensity.
And they're off, ladies and gentlemen.
Kevin storming ahead.
And what you'll see with the men, too, are more things skipped.
Yes. Wow.
That was one move all over those
Kevin.
wheels and to the bell.
They almost float through the air at times.
What I'm seeing right now from Kevin Rodriguez is he learned so much in the rounds before, and this is his fastest run that he's ever done.
That was an incredible run by both athletes. Against someone else, Addie may have continued on to the semi-finals, but
look at the time by Kevin Rodriguez. Kevin Rodriguez's time would have been good enough for third overall going into the preliminary round.
Yesterday,
so he is just getting warmed up.
Yesterday when we were watching the preliminaries and we were looking at times of 26-ish seconds and we were there going, this is so fast, and they are just getting faster and faster. And that's part of the game, isn't it? Kind of doing enough to qualify without outrunning yourself.
And over that time, they learn where they need to pick up time, and then they finally get the practice in where they have the courage to make that big extra move. Look at this, 2 moves through that ring without losing any momentum. That's the match right there. That was the match. He was 1 move cleaner than Oliver Addy, and that was the difference.
Head-to-head is an interesting way to do finals, and we were talking about this earlier, and I was saying sometimes it feels unfair, but you know that the best will get through regardless. But when you see a match like this, you think, I wonder what would have happened if they'd gone against other people. Would we have seen a final like this? Who knows?
The top 2 men from qualifying, 2 of the biggest star 100 meters, were knocked out by the lowest ranked athletes in the round of 32.
Yes.
1 got beat by 32, 2 got beat by 31. The 2 that got beat by 31 was Isaiah Thomas, who is the world record holder. Now we have a former world record holder on the left. That is Mark Rodelas, and he is part of that Philippines power, but he has to face his teammate, Augie Radan, who is the bronze medalist in Costa Rica 2 months ago in the 100 meters. So this is
a
2
tough
brothers going against each other. One's going to come out, and either one of these men could very well be your gold medalist going forward.
And on the blue lane, Julius Rodelas!
That is one of the best in the world right there. And if you have not been introduced to the high-flying action of Philippines obstacle course racing, fasten your seatbelt.
This is your chance.
They are absolutely flying. One move each through the wheels and over that giant wall. Interesting, neither of them jumped the gap, and they got caught up on the rings. This is tighter than I expected it to be.
Their technique is so similar. They're
And here's
almost
the
touching.
explosion. This is going to come down to who squeezes the buzzer, and it is Mark Rodelas.
Really?
Check that, Augie Radan.
Augie.
Radan with the win over his big brother figure, Mark Julius Rodelas, with the second fastest time in this tournament so far. Incredible.
They almost looked like they were running the same race. Their technique was, and again, I guess this kind of highlights what you were saying about how people really plan and choreograph these races. And I imagine that's something to do with them being part of the same team. You can see the way they touch the obstacles is very, very similar. They have the same strategy.
They travel together, they train together, they eat together, they sleep together, and they basically do the obstacles, like you said, exactly the same way. And it came down to just one extra half a step that Augie Radan was able to go past him. Look at the power, the athleticism, and the grace in the air. This is really graceful racing and the extreme concentration. And he did not make sure, he made sure he hit that bell as hard as he could, because Isaiah Thomas earlier today actually got to the buzzer first, but missed the bell to squeeze it hard enough and wound up losing.
So Isaiah Thomas was kind of the guy that everyone had their eyes on, wasn't he? And he was incredible yesterday in qualification. He flew through the rounds, and then today we were watching up from the balcony, so we had a perfect view of the bells as they hit them, and he didn't press that bell fast enough. He had a little bit of time, he pressed it again, but it was just as his opponent came up and hit the bell, and that opponent will be coming up soon. We will see him going head-to-head.
We're seeing him right now. There's Yuri on the right.
Going head-to-head with Tommy Matthews from the UK. So Yuri knocked out Isaiah earlier on, who was almost the favorite to win this competition. What's he going to do now?
Well, Tommy Matthews has become the crowd favorite here today because he's just been grinding out race after race. He's tremendously theatrical. He's a physiotherapist from Great Britain. He's a really funny guy. He's a great racer, and he's going up against the person who knocked out the biggest fish in the tournament. So it is going to be...
He's definitely a performer. He has been on Ninja Warrior in the UK, and he's finished top 10 at the FISO World Championships 2 years running. And you can see every time he races, he gives the audience a little performance, and everybody loves that.
I love it. And we got two underdogs now going head-to-head.
Well matched on size. Height will make a big difference here, I imagine.
Height will make it. It's going to come down to who actually needs to take the biggest risk. And right now, that's going to be on the rings.
Come on,
Tommy took the risk, and Tommy got the reward. That put him into first place as he hits the bell.
This is neck and neck.
And here we go.
This is one of the most exciting finishes we've seen so far.
Yuri
took it
outrages
on
him.
the bell.
Yuri says nobody puts baby in the corner. Tommy Matthews knows it. He stands up. They give each other a bro hug, but what a race. Back and forth.
What a race.
Unbelievable. The fastest time Tommy Matthews has ever run in his life, so he should be super proud of that. And Yuri could have been knocked out in the round of 32 by the #2 seed, Isaiah Thomas, and here he is going into the semifinals.
I don't want to underspeak about Yuri because he is an incredible athlete who has achieved a lot. He always does perform well, and he qualified as 31 in the qualifications yesterday. Was that partly down to do with some kind of strategy? Because we know he can run incredibly fast and he's incredibly competent. We can see in this run, look what he's capable of.
I mean, it was amazing that maybe he only got one qualifying time. Maybe it was strategy. You know, it could have been possibly been. Maybe he went slow on his first run and then fell on his second run where he thought he was going to get a better time.
Potentially.
So there's so much strategy involved, and sometimes it backfires. But for Yuri, everything is coming up perfect. Sometimes the stars just align and everything starts to go in your favor. So he's got the ability, he's been getting some of the luck, and here he is in the semifinals.
I don't think yesterday we would have called this as being the potential winner, but we could see that today. And let's not forget, there's an awful lot of prize money on the line.
There is $20,000 for both the men and the women, $10,000 for second, and 2,500 euros for third place.
So they are playing, they're not just playing for a title here, they're playing for a big payday. And now we have the final of the quarterfinals. We have Elijah Browning from the USA.
I present you on the red lane from the United States of America.
And from Poland, we have Władysław Sokolowski, and Władysław had an upset win in the 2024 Obstacle World Championships. He won the gold down there. And Elijah, he is a Ninja Warrior star. He's just getting to 100 meters. Every race he's learned a little bit more. He's explosive. He's part of that team with Isaiah Thomas that traveled the world together doing Ninja. So this is going to be one of the most exciting races today. Elijah's power and explosiveness versus Władysław's grace. I mean, what looks more American than a hair and the sunglasses on the course, but he's tied right now with Władysław, and Władysław's one move in the lead.
It's not holding him back, is it?
Definitely not, definitely not.
And it's tasty. He has overtaken on the ring, so neck and neck once again.
Neck and
one
neck.
touch.
There's the height, there's the power we were talking about. Here's going to come to the buzzer again. Oh, it looks like it's Elijah.
They don't know.
The way they're reacting, they're both celebrating.
Władysław.
It is Władysław.
Oh, by tenths of a second.
By the smallest of margins. That was all about the squeeze on the buzzer. And the 2024.
They didn't even know. They were looking at the boards themselves to find out which one of these made it
wouldn't
faster.
come up. We couldn't tell from here. But Władysław from Poland will be going on to the semifinals with Elijah Browning knocked out.
So Władysław will be taking on Kevin Rodriguez, another American. That was the closest match that we've seen so far.
If you would have said at the beginning of this tournament that Kevin Rodriguez would be the last American standing, you could have won a lot of money. Because obviously it was on Isaiah, and Isaiah had the second best time.
Look at that move. That is beautiful.
And look at the power and the grip right there. And there's so many different kind of grips here we're using. There's a nice crushing grip that you're seeing, and then you have the support grip that you have to see on these ledges that they have to use.
He flew. He touched that obstacle with one hand. That was just a ledge for him to push off to get to that belt. And look at that. That is down to just who pressed the button faster. And that's what this race came down to.
And that was a perfect slow-mo by our production team because it showed very clearly that Władysław was at the buzzer first. Remarkable.
But it doesn't matter who's at the buzzer first, it's who presses that faster.
Who squeezes it down fastest.
We learned that very well today.
We were witness to that today.
So the semi-finals will be Kevin Rodriguez from the USA against Władysław Sokolowski from Poland versus Augie Radan from the Philippines and Yuri Produkin.
Amazing.
What an amazing race.
Wow.
I think everyone had fun.
Yeah, these men and women are putting on a show, and it just shows you how incredible 100-meter OCR is. Anything can happen. From the first round of that round of 32 tournament, anybody can get knocked out at any time. Anybody could rise to the occasion, and anybody could fall flat on their face and be disappointed. You never know what's going to happen as we look at the women's bracket right now as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an amazing semifinal. Get loud, get loud.
It seems like every event that I work at, it always comes down to a Polish athlete versus a Filipino athlete. They are always matched up, and it's always deciding who's going to go gold medal round and who's going to go to the bronze medal round. And here we go. This is deciding who goes to that gold and silver medal round right here. And you're looking at the backdrop of Hvar right there.
Beautiful Hvar.
Yeah, and what's great is at the end of this ladies tournament, this island Hvar is known as the queen of the Dalmatian Islands of Croatia, and we're gonna crown our queen of 100-meter OCR right here today.
I love that. These courses are very, I mean, they're fast and they're furious, but they're very simple to understand. There's very, very few rules. That's not something we've really had to discuss, but there's a couple of rules, aren't there? We probably won't see those come into action here. One of them is false starts.
Correct. If one of the athletes false starts means they leave their buzzer pad faster than the other person, it's considered a false start. They restart. If anybody false starts after that, that athlete that does it the second time is actually disqualified.
So you could be disqualified before running if you accidentally false start after a false start has already happened in your race.
Correct. And we're right into it. Here is the ladies semifinal first matchup. Kasia Janasek, your 2024 World Obstacle silver medalist.
Versus Mecca Cortizano from the Philippines. Kasia placed first in qualifying and Mecca placed fourth.
And if you're wondering where all that noise is coming from, that is coming from all the other Spartan athletes that are doing the Spartan Beast, the Spartan Sprint, and the Spartan Super here in Hvar this weekend.
We also have the Sprint World Championships happening tomorrow morning. This is a big weekend, 2 World Championships happening, but it is the first 100-meter Spartan World Championship happening here right now.
And here's our ladies semifinals. Two of the most explosive athletes that we have in the world right now going head-to-head. Kasia has really picked up her game since Costa Rica, since she lost to precious Cabuya and gets held up on the wall.
So that 2-meter wall just held her back ahead of the rings, but she's taking a risk here on the rings, isn't she?
Out of all things, she gets caught up there, and she just does a facial. She gets run into by that low crawl. I hope she doesn't get hurt, but she just took one to the head, and Mecca Cortizano with a massive upset.
She has taken it. Kasia coming in quite a bit further back than we would have expected. A few slip-ups there in that course, which on a course as fast as this caused nearly 4 seconds difference.
Out of all things, who would have expected the #1 seed to get stiff-armed, rejected by the 2-meter wall?
2-meter wall and the slide. So in the final, we'll be seeing Filipino athlete Mecca Cortizano. Semi-final will be Kasia.
Didn't we just get done saying that anything can happen to this sport? And I think we totally jinxed her, because something I've never seen just happened, and then something I've never seen again just happened right after that.
She just lost that power there.
You know what? Just missed the footstep to actually power up the wall, and that was it. One false move.
Then she took a risk on the rings. It didn't pay off, and I think maybe a bit of mental game happened there. It just threw her off, didn't it?
Once the rhythm got off on hitting that wall, she had to do, I mean, anything in her power to try to catch up, and it just threw her completely off. And Mecca stayed smooth, stays composed, and she hits that buzzer.
She looks so happy, and it's a well-deserved win.
She's thrilled. I mean, these athletes are sitting around for hours all day, contemplating these matchups, going through their heads, everything, building up the anxiety. So to then all of a sudden get that emotional release is incredible. As we have a lot of other fans here from all over the world that are coming in on cruise liners.
We do. So we just saw some incredible athletes there. That was Thibaut Jean, a well-known Spartan athlete. But we also have a lot of tourists here who are enjoying this beautiful island, and they're getting to enjoy the 100-meter World Championships. A lot of questions being asked. A very exciting way to spend your weekend. And here we have such a great matchup with Julissa Himka and Tiana Webberley, both from the USA. I would say last weekend we saw them just last Sunday going head-to-head at the OCR World Championship, 100 meters in California, Mammoth Lakes, and now head-to-head again, just 1 week later.
These two are great friends, and Julissa Himka is, you know, obviously an up-and-coming ninja, been going ahead with Tiana. But Tiana's a stunt woman in Los Angeles. Tiana is used to the pressure and having to perform under the lights. Nobody does it better, so get used to a great matchup with these two for years to come, but right now, it's all about now.
I feel the pressure every time they do this.
If not now, when?
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel like Julissa went off there just the split second before Tiana, but Tiana's ahead here.
Yeah, some of the athletes have noticed that if you hit those monkey bars at the same time, they flex out of your way, so maybe that was strategic, but Julissa has caught up. This is where Tiana has struggled in the past, and Julissa with the move. Tiana has had a hard time figuring out the rings in the past, but she's caught up, and they're even going into the rope.
This is such a beautiful match. They are Tiana's just had a new president.
Is it Tiana? Is it Julissa?
Last weekend we saw a photo finish, and this is just as close. These guys are so well matched.
Is it poetic justice?
It's Tiana!
It is Tiana
Oh
Webberley!
my gosh!
She was nipped by a fraction of a second 2 weeks ago in the United States, and now she returns the favor to Jalisa Himka in the most poetic fashion.
Incredible work from these two incredible athletes.
They will take this as a badge of honor forever, knowing that they both had 2 races like that. And these kind of races,
It shapes you.
Yeah, it bonds them together forever. And you love to see the kids. You love to see the kids watching their adult heroes in their moments doing awesome, and those kids are going to be the ones that are doing the future. But like
How
we talked about before,
exciting is this for kids to watch?
it's incredible. It's incredible. It's such high action. It's such high drama. These are like superheroes to them.
I was going to say, this is like a superhero sport, isn't it?
It's like a video game, and they get to watch it in person, and then you know what? They get to go out and do it themselves.
Throughout this race, you would have said, Jalisa is ahead, Jalisa's going to take it, and then Tiana just pulled it out of the bag once more.
Just by fractions of a second. As close as that men's race was, this was even closer.
Even closer. Even closer.
Tiana still struggled on those rings, though. That put her behind.
It did.
And that could cost her later on. So she needs to figure that out. But if she could figure that out today, she could win a gold medal. And she will be in that gold medal round at the first ever Spartan 100m World Championships.
So we have in the final for the women, Mecca Cortizano from the Philippines and Tiana Webberley from USA.
This is incredible. This will be Tiana's first opportunity at a World Championship. Mecca's been there before. But Tiana has not. And under these bright lights, both these athletes are very seasoned. That will be an incredible match to watch, and one that we did not expect.
No.
Everybody's expecting Precious Cabuya to collide with Kasia Janasek, and it just didn't happen. You have 2 great athletes go through this grinder of a tournament, and there they are.
So now for the men's semi-final, USA Kevin Rodriguez versus Polish Władysław Sotawski.
This is going to be a really tough race for Kevin Rodriguez. Władysław, this guy has got so much experience. He's got ice in his veins, and he's so smooth and graceful. He's like a machine. And Kevin is like been popped out of a pop music video.
You can see them there, almost 2 different athletes.
Yeah.
Władysław is strong and sturdy, and like you say, ice in his veins. Kevin is cool. He is the American, isn't he? Two very different athletes.
He looks like he just popped off his surfboard, just took off his Beats phone, had radios, and he's going to go to like a concert or something like that. But this kid is a fiery competitor. We've seen it earlier. I'm really excited to see who is going to step up their game right here.
Władysław is focused on this race 100%.
Ice in his veins, that man.
And great crowd support. Everyone here down the barriers cheering on, supporting.
Both of these men have traveled different roads to get here, and here they go.
Kevin taking it on that first bell.
Both of them with the same kind of move. They're pretty even right now. Kevin with a huge move. He skipped the gap.
Wow.
And he lost the momentum because of that.
But he still got the bell.
He still got the bell, but he took a huge risk, and it kind of backfired. And now the machine, Władysław. He just not make a mistake. He is a machine. He does not make mistakes.
I love the coolness of Kevin. I really do. I love his casualness. I love how... I even love what he's wearing. But you've got to admire Władysław and how he doesn't make a mistake. He is well practiced. He is a machine.
And if you're watching it, he's so swift and he's so smooth that anybody going up against him knows that the only way they could beat him is they have to take a huge risk, and he tried to take one. If you don't take the risk, you don't have a shot, because Vladimir, he's not going to make a mistake. You can't wait for him to make a mistake. You have to take a chance. I give Kevin all the credit in the world for doing that, but look at that, yeah.
Look at that. I mean, he leapt, again, using that ledge just to power himself to the bell, and that is it. He's not using that. He's not climbing across.
He jumped up with one hand.
It's a springboard.
And he jumped up, kept his body parallel to the course the entire time, just hooked it with one arm and hit the bell. I mean, that's incredible. He's so streamlined. It's like, what else is streamlined like that? German cars. The dude's like a Mercedes.
I think that was a beautiful matchup to see between two very, very different athletes.
Very different styles.
It could have been very close. I love that Kevin took that risk there.
You and I and the audience are better because of it.
Second semi-final, Augie Radan and Yuri Prokudin.
Augie Radan he's kind of, there's two other athletes. There's Mark Rodelas and Kevin Pascual from the Philippines. Kevin didn't even make it to this round. So Augie Radan is sometimes the forgotten Filipino. And here he is today in the semifinals, about to get to the finals. If he could beat this man, who's taken down the giant today. He was David versus Goliath earlier today, and now he has a chance to beat one of the better guys in the world in Augie Radan.
I love Yuri's face here. You can see he's again focusing. He's focusing on what he's going to do. He was seeded 31st in qualifying against Augie, who was 3rd in qualifying.
And if you want to know what these guys do in their free time,
practice.
This is what they do. They eat, sleep, and breed 100-meter OCR.
Yuri was posed to take off there, wasn't he? And he was not standing back. They both have the power, but Yuri does have the height here.
That length definitely helps, and Yuri is exploding through there. What's great about Yuri, kind of like Vladislav, he's very streamlined.
Yes.
He doesn't make mistakes, and this is gonna, there's that one move, that one grip. This is gonna be Yuri right here.
This is gonna be Yuri.
He is showing to us that that win against Isaiah Thomas was not a fluke. This man is here to stay, and he's going to go for that gold medal really soon against Vladislav from Poland.
Yuri versus Vladislav for first place in the men's. Yuri is an accomplished athlete. You know, we can't say that him winning against Isaiah was a fluke. Isaiah did mess up on that bell, but it wasn't a fluke because he is an incredible athlete. But how different this competition would have looked if Isaiah hadn't made that mistake. Yeah. This final would be totally different.
And I'm so happy that Yuri is advanced to this point to show the whole world that that wasn't, right? Because I think a lot of people would have said that if he would have lost the next round or lost to this one, to Augie Radan, they would have held that against him. But now, no matter what, he's earned his place, he's gotten that respect, and he has a chance to now go get a gold medal.
I've just got to comment on Yuri's technique here. It's incredible, the power and speed he has moving through those obstacles. One touch, really such a big, long wingspan. He's touching those obstacles once and he's using those to power off. They are springboarding him to the bell. They are not obstacles.
And the mental side of it, going up against Americans and Filipinos, and now the Polish team. There hasn't been a finals in a long time without an American and a Filipino in the finals. So to have it Poland versus another athlete from Europe, it's just, it's kind of like a dawn of a new, it's kind of like the rest of the world is starting to catch up to these powerhouses.
So the next race that we're going to do is for the 3rd place. We're not having the finals just yet. We're going to be having the 3rd place women.
Right, so the losers, I hate to call them losers, but that's the way.
Let's not use that word.
I mean, I just did, so might as well keep going. But the person who didn't win in the last round of each bracket, they will now battle for that bronze medal. So whoever wins will win that bronze. And then in the gold medal round, whoever doesn't win the gold, they're automatically the silver.
Yes. So for the women, it is Cabuya going up against Jalisa. Poland versus USA for the 3rd place. have to say, even if you weren't here for the 100 meters, I would 100% recommend coming to this island. This has been such an experience, and it's so incredibly beautiful. A lot of the Americans have really loved being here because this is so different for them.
It's been incredible. If you're looking on the right, that is Ian Adamson, World Obstacle President. He's very responsible for this event today. In the center there with the gray hat, that is Joe DeSena, the founder and owner of Spartan Race, who is essential in bringing this sport to Hvar. And right to his right, gentleman in the pink shirt, that was the mayor of Hvar.
I wonder how the mayor feels about this brand new sport running through the historic streets of Hvar.
And there is what we call a trifecta medal. So that man has gotten a trifecta, means he's done a sprint, a super, and a beast race in 1 year. And every time you do multiple ones, you get a bigger and bigger medal. So that guy's trifecta medal was like the size of a small dinner plate. He's probably done about 11 Spartan trifectas. It was
13 trifectas. So the 3 distances that Spartan kind of offers, they're offering this weekend as a standard: the sprint, the super, the beast. Short, medium, long, we can call them if you want to make it easy. Those 3 together create the trifecta. That tends to be people's goal once they come into Spartan the race. They go, oh my God, I love this. And they learn about the trifecta, and then once they've done their first, they're thirsty for more, and they do more and more. And that gentleman had 13 trifectas. People travel the world to get to these trifecta weekends. That's what this is. This is a trifecta weekend where you can do all 3 races in 1 weekend.
And if you've never done a Spartan race, you start off with like 5K sprint, kind of get your feet wet, and then as you go longer into the super and beast, you get to try all these new obstacles, you get into greater distances, it's pushing you physically and mentally, and also adding a whole lot of new friends to your life.
The great thing about the 100-meter championship as well, obviously we're seeing the final here, but we've had qualifications. People have been able to take part in this. Let's say lesser skilled athletes have been able to take part in this over the weekend. It's not as open to competition as the sprints and the supers generally are.
Correct. The sprint, the super, and the beast are generally for everybody. This is such a specific, explosive, high-risk, high-reward event that if you're not somebody who's used to doing a lot of obstacles, particularly not fast, 100 meters is probably not for you, but the sprint is the entry level for anybody, any level of fitness, to go test their mettle and try something that will bring a lot of adventure and a lot of health span in the future to their lives.
But if you do feel like the 100 meters could be your thing, each country has its own federation, doesn't it?
They do.
And they work with the 100 meters, and these teams were selected partly by each country's federation. So you're able to, in your local country, find your obstacle sport federation, get involved in the sport, and potentially one day be doing 100 meters. But before then, give the sprint a go, give the beast a go. We have the super, we have the ultra, we have so many distances at Spartan Race. There is something for everyone.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the ultra is actually 2 laps plus a little extra of the 21K beast course. So there's a lot of opportunity to do all these kind of different distances. And again, it's an incredible way to travel the world, meet new people. Here we are again in this beautiful place, in the shadow of that giant fort that was built in the 1400s. I mean, this place is just remarkable, and the hospitality of this place has been incredible. It is one of the cleanest places I've ever been in my life.
Welcome to Europe.
It is remarkable.
You do get to travel to some incredible places. So the Ultra, we just had the Ultra World Championships happen back in July, and that was in Morzine in France. Incredibly easy to get to and incredibly beautiful. But that's another, even though it's a World Championship event, open to everyone. So you can run in the elite, the pro wave, and compete for the top prizes, but you can also run open and get the chance to take on these courses. And whilst you can do these courses throughout the year, Spartan does hold World Championships for all of their distances. So as you work your way through the sport, you have this opportunity, both in pro and in age group, and people love age group. This has been my hero of the weekend, Thor, the Jack Russell. I have seen him everywhere. He is so gorgeous.
That little Jack Russell has been everywhere, and that's the perfect segue into what I was going to say next. Is Spartan is by far, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, probably the most inclusive sport in the world.
Incredibly so, yeah.
It includes everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you do, who you worship. Spartan really is for everyone. You're accepted. Everyone's great to each other. It's just a fantastic community to join.
I'm must say, I started Spartan Race back in 2013, and so much of my life has happened because of this brand. From the family that I have to the job that I do and the friends that I have is because of Spartan Race. I loved it from my first event, which was in Yorkshire in 2013, and I never stopped.
I started in 2011, and I met your future husband in 2013. He quickly became one of my better friends in the sport, and it's been like that with so many other people for a long time. It's just remarkable, the relationships you make,
the community.
The community you get to join, the places you get to explore and enjoy it with, and then the challenges you get to put on yourself and accept. It really is wonderful.
It is kind of part of obstacle course racing that you put yourself through tough things on the course and life kind of feels a bit easier. And it sounds really cheesy to say that, but I've had so many experiences where I've gone, look, I know I can do these hard things. Therefore, I know I can do hard things.
One of the greatest blessings in life is being able to choose your suffering. We're so fortunate that we get to choose our method of like how we want to punish ourselves. And we say punish, but really reward ourselves with hard things, positive stressors, growing your grit and becoming a better person by putting yourself through tough things. And it's great to be able to choose Spartan as the venue in which we get to do it.
Yes. So the athletes are taking a short break now whilst we gear up for the semi-finals. Here we go.
Yeah, and there's Jelica Himka there on the left in the black t-shirt. And that is Kasia Janasek, multi-time world champion, European 100-meter champion, European 100-meter record holder, versus one of the young guns from the United States here for the bronze medal. Glad to see that that Kasia's okay, because it looked like she really could have hurt herself on that low crawl accident where she went in face first. But she's a tough woman. It looks like she's okay, and she's ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's break the silence because the next athletes...
The MCs have been doing an incredible job this weekend, keeping the crowd going constantly, because these races have been going on for hours and hours, keeping the crowd going, keeping them cheering.
They've been going since 7:30 in the morning. It is now, the time we're at right now is probably later in the afternoon, and they've been going all day. And these women have been going all weekend, getting to a position where, like, you know what, out of the possibly 90 women that showed up to do this, you're down in the final 4, and there's only 3 medals available. One of these will walk away with some hardware here, and the honor of being a medalist in the first ever Spartan 100-meter championship here in Hvar, Croatia.
Such a different starting style for both of them. Everyone has their own style.
A little quick check there by Kasia. Jelica really threw that arm out to get the momentum going.
She really took a lot of movements across those monkey bars, Jelica. She touched almost every single one.
Jelica is going to have to take a risk here. Kasia's looking pretty strong, and now that she has that lead, Jelica's going to have to do something on the rings here.
And she did.
There it is. She pulls even with Kasia Janasek, one of the best in the world, and is going to come down to that wall.
Who has the power? Kasia's up there first. Who's going to hit the bell? It's Kasia.
I feel great for Kasia Janasek after that facial she took in the round before. Jelica, you're young, you'll be back, but right now, Kasia Janasek is still one of the best in the world. There is your bronze medalist for the 100-meter Spartan World Championship.
With an incredible time of 34.133.
That's up there today. Both of them came off with a tremendous amount of power, but Kasia right there takes the lead on the bars.
You could see just that split second that Jelica took to jump onto the bars. And really slowed her down.
Yeah, and all the credit in the world for Jelica. We said that she had to take a risk on those rings.
And she took that risk. You see it just there.
And there it is, and it brought her back. It gave her a chance. She gave herself a chance. She could go home knowing that she didn't leave anything on the course. She gave it her best, and she had Kasia right where she needed to be. But Kasia's just a little bit better.
Off those rings, Jelica was hitting the bell just ahead But Kasia caught up, and after what happened last time with Kasia, where she had that misstep on the 2-meter wall, she's not going to let anything fade here, is she? She was going to go all out for that.
The consummate pro, I give her all the credit in the world for composing herself and coming back after that disappointment and getting the bronze medal.
I did wonder whether she would be injured, whether there'd be something holding her back, but she took exactly the opposite route, and nothing held her back there.
No, it showed a lot of poise, a lot of professionalism, and that's one of the reasons why she's best in the world.
And now we're on to the 3rd place male.
Now this is the best part in the world for her, because you're done with the tournament. This has been leading up for weeks. It's been going on for days. Now she's done. She could grab some of the great food at any of the restaurants that are right here in the harbor, and now she gets to hang out and relax. And if you ever meet Kasia, one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Just an absolute sweetheart.
I love this, the immediate post-race dissection. What happened? This is what I did. This is the risk I took.
They'll be talking about that all night.
I think most of these heats, we have something incredible to say about every single one.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. This Spartan 100-meter OCR, right?
It's incredible.
All day long, we've been getting surprises. We've been getting incredible efforts. We've been getting incredible disappointments, you know, and some surprising outcomes. So it's been a really remarkable tournament so far, and we still got more to go. We have that bronze medal match for the men coming up. And they're just fans. People are just getting off of boats. They're getting off of ferries. They're
just like, what's going on?
They're coming here for a nice quiet vacation, and they just rolled into Sparta, one of the grittiest, most grinded out tournaments on the planet. There's that giant fort that we were talking about, just incredible. And if you come to Hvar, you could actually hike a path under and through that wall, and it takes you all the way up to the top. And gives you this incredible view of the harbor and the
Well, our Beast
water.
athletes have been doing that today. This path that you see winding up, the Beast athletes were going up there, right up to the top.
I believe to the left of that flag that's on top of that fort is the sandbag carry. So if you see the big tree to the left of that flag blowing, that whole rocky area is part of the sandbag carry.
It's going to be a tough course. This is a Thomas Blanc course, and we know that they are notoriously hard.
He is a notorious Spartan director in Europe, and right now we have the notorious Kevin Rodriguez up against Augie Radan.
Super cool, Kevin.
And if you don't think either one of these men wants to bring a medal back to the United States, they do. The USA is guaranteed a medal on the ladies' side, but the Philippines, their only medal hope for this tournament is right here with Augie Radan. Oh, pardon me. We have Mecca Cortizano.
Yes.
So.
The more medals, the better there.
Yeah, nobody ever hated bringing more medals home. Said no one. And there's Kevin Rodriguez just rolled out of the surf. Probably took a paddleboard from one of the Dalmatian islands to get here, the way he's dressed, but this man is ready to roll.
I love his casual style. Both of them looking more nervous than we've seen them before. A lot of preparation, rubbing of the hands, checking every bit of clothes feels just right.
Hey, and each man of them, these guys right now are saying, show me the money. There's $2,500 on the line here, too.
They're not just fighting for a medal, they're also fighting for the third place payout of $2,500.
This is a room upgrade right here.
Kevin out with great speed.
These are two very matched athletes in their style. Their hands and their legs are all over the place. They're explosive, they're radical, they're reckless, and both of them at the rings at the same time. Hitting the bell at the same time, Francesca. Both of them exploding towards that wall. Who's it going to be? Is it Augie Radan? Augie Radan is your bronze medalist.
Do you know what?
He hit the beginning of that wall and said, bye, Felicia, and Kevin Rodriguez just couldn't hang on.
I was so astounded during that I couldn't even call it. I couldn't say anything. I was watching them swap obstacle to obstacle. Kevin went out at speed, and Augie caught up so quickly, but they changed places. By places, we mean centimeters. When you look at that, you think Kevin's got it. And then suddenly Augie comes and he overtakes with such a beautiful technique on those monkey bars.
There was probably 5 or 6 back and forths there. They were even on those wheels. I mean, you get to the rings, they're bang. At the same time, those bells are hit.
Kevin, Augie, Kevin, and then we get here.
And it gets to like the rope, and I think this is where it changes. I think his footwork when he hit the ground here was, and that Augie Radan I'm talking about, was just a little bit smoother. So when he got to that rope, he just had that little extra edge.
So Augie on those climbing holds, you saw he hit the third one along where Kevin hit the second. And even though they hit the bell at the same time, taking that extra step powered him forward and gave him that head start, which was just what he needed to be able to hit that bell ahead of him.
What I've been noticing with the bells, with the buzzer as well, is the athletes who are actually running up and standing over it, they're maintaining their speed as they go. It seems like everybody who tries to dive from the bottom, it's almost like an athlete, a baseball player who's trying to dive into first base, they actually lose speed. They lose momentum. And I think that Filipinos are realizing that. Guys like Vladislav from Poland have realized that, and they're taking less of a chance to dive and running through that buzzer.
So here we go, the final for the women. Mecca, Cortizano from the Philippines, and Tiana Webberley from the USA.
Tiana Webberley is a Los Angeles stunt woman, but you couldn't have written a movie better for her that she could have been acting or doing stunts in, because right now she's starring in her own film.
Let's not forget there's $20,000 on the line here.
20 grand.
20 grand.
20 grand. And there's Sweet Tea. She's loved by everyone, and on these courses, feared by all.
Well deserved. I love the showmanship of the Americans.
The showmanship and the sportsmanship that we see from every single one of these athletes at these 100-meter events is incredible.
Incredible.
Okay, the 100-meter specialist from the Philippines versus the American stunt woman.
Wow.
That was as close to a false start as you thought you would ever have, but here they are even. And Mecca got caught up.
Mecca went off almost ahead of time, it felt like. And I thought, there, she's got it. That split second is going to give her the head start, but she got caught up on that first obstacle, and Tiana is now flying through. She is not going to look behind. She's not going to wait, but she's quite slow on those rings. What did you say about the rings?
We're going to have to, we're going to have to see if those, she got slow on that, but because she had that gap, she didn't have to take any risks. Now all she has to do is be clean, and Tiana Webberley is going to be your 100-meter Spartan world champion!
Oh my gosh.
She just head-topped. She cannot believe it. Mecca Cortizano is going to be heartbroken, but Tiana Webberley has just taken home the greatest title of her life.
Mecca went out so fast. As you said, it was as close to a false start as you could get, but she got caught up. Now, let's not forget, Tiana Webberley just last weekend in Mammoth Lakes, California, had a photo finish with Jaleesa Himka on a 100-meter course. She has it in her. This is not a mistake that she won. She is an incredible athlete. And yes, we were concerned about her on those rings. We didn't need to worry. And this is the fascinating thing about the 100 meters, is that it can come down to so many different things.
Well, let's try to see what happened here. She got to that second bar, and what she did, she missed the third one. For whatever reason, she did not have the momentum to carry her through that third bar and that one little backswing. You cannot backswing. Yep, you cannot backswing in any kind of 100-meter event at this level and expect to hang. And at that point, Tiana had to sense that Mecca had been backed off and didn't have to take the massive risk on the ring, took it conservatively, and it served her well, because then she just had to cruise to the finish.
And these monkey bars, as well, as you could see there on the slow replay, they're not standard, they are staggered in different heights.
So the 100-meter final did not disappoint. It gave us something different that we hadn't seen all day. Two of the best of the world going at it, and it came down to one slight miscalculation, and there you have it, Tiana Webberley with her first world championship, 9-time American Ninja Warrior competitor, Spartan, stunt woman, and now 100-meter Spartan world champion.
Incredible. Well-deserved, an incredible athlete, and a very good pairing for this final of the first Spartan 100-meter World Championship.
I know how I'm asking to buy meat dinner.
Crowned the world champion.
And look at this beautiful setting, the turquoise water, the huge crowds. Everywhere you look around there's all restaurants. You could sit there at a beautiful cafe.
Oh, I have.
Oh, it's nice, right? You could have anything you want and just watch this whole event.
Are you ready for the
But on the menu right now,
It's the man.
we have a world champion from Poland. We have a world champion from Europe. We have two of the smoothest, most methodical,
So
most
cool.
robotic, most ice-cold athletes out there, and they get to go. These men are like a mirror image of each other. I will not be surprised if we have a photo finish.
I'll agree with you on that one. Where we saw athletes before touching their hands, rubbing their hands, checking the clothes, these guys are like statues standing on this finish line. They are focused on that buzzer.
And there's Yuri, Protodukin, and Vladislav Slokolowski. This man is going for his second world championship in as many months.
And let's not forget, Yuri placed 31st in qualifying. He knocked out who was the favorite, Isaiah Thomas.
And Vladislav was only 7th during qualifying, so he's had to go through a grinder as well himself. Oh, and Vladislav goes down. If we haven't been able to predict anything in this world, one misstep and he goes down. This is incredibly disappointing to see in terms of the competition, but who could have predicted?
Who could have called that?
That the favorite to win at this point would literally twist his ankle at the beginning and go down. And Yuri, the man who slayed Isaiah Thomas, who was the world record holder in the standard course, is now your world champion after taking out everyone.
Oh my gosh. As he started, as both of them started, the thought in my mind was, I can feel the pressure every time they're standing there. But this is such high pressure to leave, and they don't make a mistake. That was going through my head as they did it. And then he slipped.
And that is a dichotomy of 100-meter OCR right there. It's equally, it will reward you for things you never could expect to happen in a positive way.
And it'll punish you.
It can rip your heart out just as fast. You just never know when the gauntlet's going to hit you. And today, unfortunately, it hit Vladislav at the worst possible time.
It's all part of the game, though.
Yeah.
It's all part of the game.
And this is
there we go.
He just missed one step. I mean, and right there, he just knows it, you know? And at this point, you don't even know if Yuri realizes if he went down.
He could have taken Yuri out. He was so close. Let me say, though, about both these athletes, Yuri will have noticed at some point, and he carried on. He didn't slow down. He still gave it an incredible run.
He still had to.
And Vladislav, he didn't go, I'm out, I don't care. He still ran. He still finished the course.
He still went and finished it. He showed a lot of sportsmanship, and that's really important for Yuri, because the last thing you want to do
is have an easy win.
Be the world champion, be standing on top of that wall by yourself, because it just shows that, you know what, like, I did only win right there because the other athlete fell down. But then Vladislav coming through honors him by finishing the race and embracing him at the top. Shows a lot of class.
I think, though, because of the way this competition works, everyone had 2 goes in qualifying. We took the top 32 and worked our way through until we got to the final. Each of these athletes has given it so many goes. They have earned their spot. This isn't a one-off race.
No.
Yeah, we've had surprises like Isaiah Thomas that we've mentioned a few times being knocked out by Yuri, which at the time we're all going, can you believe it? Now Yuri has won. But each athlete, they've had to prove that they deserve their spot. Mistakes happen. They don't happen every time.
No, and that's the beauty of this event, because anything can happen. Nothing is given. everything is earned, and that is a motto that Spartan has in the first place. And this is the perfect example of that. And these men and women went through one of the toughest grinders that you'd ever have to go through. Nothing guaranteed. Your time, your position didn't matter. It just mattered whether or not you were able to perform over and over and over again until you got to that final. And there you have it. Yuri and Tiana Webberley, your world champions at the first Spartan 100 meters.
Incredible.
And what a setting to do it in.
I've had such an incredible time here on Hvar. I'll tell you what happens is so beautiful at Spartan World Championship events, and it happened last night. It's the celebrations, it's the things that happen outside of the competition. Last night we had a nation parade, we had a big screen, we had music playing. I love the competition, I love these championship events, but I love the community of the Spartan racing. I love how everyone comes together. I love celebrating the countries, celebrating your teams. That's always a part of these events, and it's so much fun.
My apartment is just on the opposite side of that harbor, right above it. And there was people partying and hanging out and having a blast until 3 a.m. last night.
Oh my gosh.
Until 3 a.m. As cool as it was, I would have liked to have gotten some more sleep, but I said, you know what, it's kind of a once and ever kind of thing. And if you, as we're looking out into some of the other Dalmatian islands out there, and the beautiful Adriatic Sea. Right across that sea is Italy, and just down the coast is Greece. It's just absolutely beautiful.
This is my first opportunity to come to Croatia. I've traveled a lot around Europe, being a European. This is my first time in Croatia, and I've got to say, I was so pleasantly surprised by how gorgeous it was. I spent the first night in Split, and then headed over here on the ferry super fast. And then we're gonna go, we're gonna head over to the interviews with the athletes, with our finalists and our gold medal winners. Let's head over to Mark with the winners.
First of all, congratulations, Tiana. Tiana, once again, congratulations. How does it feel to be standing here as a Spartan 100-meter world champion?
I still can't believe it. It's incredible just to run in alongside these amazing athletes, and just to God be the glory. He's the reason I'm here, and that we're all here. Thankful we're all healthy and coming out of this strong, and hopefully run again another time soon.
Amazing performance, amazing performance. Now let's talk about the race, Tiana. You tackled those obstacles with incredible precision. What was your strategy going into the race, and was there a moment where you felt the pressure?
Definitely felt the pressure, probably with Precious and Delisa and Mecca. All the last 3 rounds were incredible, and it's just each lady like pushed me even harder and helped me just go even faster. I wanted to stay smooth, one obstacle at a time, and just make up for it in between each obstacle as well.
You definitely persevered, Tiana. And now in such an intense race like this, there are always ups and downs. Tiana, was there any point in the race where you thought you weren't going to make it, and how did you push through?
Coming off my race yesterday, I had a little bit of a mishap, and so I just had to, reset, remember today's a new day and go at it one obstacle at a time again. I've got amazing coaches, friends, and family back home that just helped motivate me and, encourage me to just start over, and today's a new day, and just so grateful for everybody.
That is the best mentality to have. Thank you so much, Tiana Webberley. We'll see you shortly on the podiums.
Thank you.
You ready?
Incredible to hear from Tiana there, who is so happy with her gold medal here on Hvar. And let's also mention the $20,000 that she gets to take home as her first prize, and well earned. What an incredible run from Tiana.
I mean, to do it in front of all her friends and family, And we're going to take another pause right here because we have another interview coming up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here with Yuri. You put on an incredible show as well. How does it feel to be Spartan World Champion?
I'm so excited about that. I've been working for so long to achieve this goal. It was my dream to become world champion, and now here I am. I'm so excited.
It is a testament to your training and hard work, definitely. And now, Yuri, you were lightning fast and nailed those obstacles. How do you prepare for this event, and what was the toughest part of your race?
I've been doing sports for all my life. I did gymnastics for 8 years, then I started doing ninja, and now I'm an all-star athlete. And I train in specific places with such obstacles sometimes I train dressed in a ninja gym in my hometown, Ryotov. Yeah, it's all about the trainings.
You are amazing, Yuri. And I'm also going to ask you the same question. Was there any moment in the race where you thought you'd be slipping away? And what did you do to stay in the fight?
Yes, there were several races where I didn't do my best, especially in qualifying rounds. I almost was out of the finals because I did so many stupid mistakes. Also, my first run in the finals with Isaiah Thomas, I almost lost, but still I got it.
You are definitely best of the best. Thank you so much for the interview. We'll see you on the podium.
Thank you so much.
There we go. That slip up once again by Vladislav. That must have been heartbreaking for him.
At this level, any mistake that we saw in the women's final, and then unfortunately we saw in the men's final, is so consequential. It's so devastating. You have to be perfect. And he was perfect today. He beat what was thought to be the unbeatable man in Isaiah Thomas in that first round. He was the lowest seeded, the second lowest seeded athlete in this whole tournament. And he went from being ranked number 31 to the gold medal.
Gold medal.
Who would have ever thought that? If if Vegas put money on this, if you put like $100 on that dude, you probably won $1 million if you bet on Yuri.
It was an incredible event, an incredible competition, and so many outcomes that we just never could have called. And you know what? I'm glad we didn't start this saying, who do you think is going to come out top? Because we would have looked like complete newbies.
Oh, we would have looked like we had no idea what we were talking about going into this. So I'm glad the two of us showed some restraint, understanding that this is an anything can happen kind of event in an anything can happen kind of place. Because Hvar has just been incredible, has so many surprises of its own, and Spartan has a few more surprises this weekend, right?
Indeed, we've still got races coming up. We've got the Sprint World Championships tomorrow. You can join us on YouTube to watch that live. And we've also got the Super happening tomorrow. Not going to be as competitive as the Sprint, but still going to be a big, incredible race. They are making full use of this island. There's some swims in there. There's the classic carries, everything that you love from Spartan Race.
Yeah, for those who don't know what a Spartan Super is, it's a 10K version of the Spartan course, and the Sprint is the 5K version. And it's also incredible for spectators. People make what's called racecations out of it.
Yes.
They find these exotic, beautiful places on the planet where there is a Spartan race, and they come with their families and they make a whole event out of it. And right now we have the event of the ladies' podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my gosh, my heart rate is still pretty high, I'm sure. Girls as well, so first of all, who is having a good time here in Hvar? Who's having a good time here in Hvar, ladies and gentlemen? Make some noise. Thank you. Thank you. Now we can start with the flower ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, what an extraordinary day it has been here in the Spartan 100m World Championship. We've seen incredible display of strength, speed, agility, and determination from all the athletes. And now it's time to honor the top finisher, both male and female. These athletes pushed through every obstacle with precision, power, proving they are among the best in the world. let's celebrate the top 3 male and female finishers who have made their mark on this historic moment. It all started with the heats, where athletes battled through the knockout round in a dual format, pushing their way to the top. We saw tight races, incredible obstacle technique, and moments that tested not only speed, but mental toughness. Ladies and gentlemen, applause for the podium of the female 100-meter race.
What a moment to be on the podium here at a World Championship event.
Think about how far some of these athletes have traveled. And there's Kasia Janasek adding a bronze medal to her already gigantic treasure trove of trophies in her house from OCR.
From the Philippines, Mecca, Cortizano!
Mecca in second place from the Philippines.
And she's always been third behind her countrymen. Today, she came out on top.
The flowers will be handed over from the mayor of City of Hvar, Ricardo Novak, from the president of World Obstacle, Ian Adamson, and the founder of Spartan, Tiana. One more time, we dance together for the top 3 female athletes. Thank you.
And there's that smile from Tiana Webberley.
Sweet tea.
We continue with the male athletes.
A gold medal champion. Finally.
Welcome the male podium of the 100-meter race.
And there's Tiana hitting that buzzer for the gold medal. But you have an interesting statistic from the men's race.
I do, and you know what? It's from the women's race as well. The first place from the men's and women's race actually had a slower time than the 2 finalists from the semi-finals, 3rd and 4th place.
And there's our 3rd place finisher, Augie Radan, again from the Philippines. And there's Vladislav after that terrible slip. He's got to be very disappointed, but silver medal is still something very, very proud of.
You can see the disappointment.
Yuri!
And Yuri, that man deserves to celebrate. He was the underdog of underdogs coming into this, and he comes out on top. But to go back to your point, in both those matches, somebody had fell.
Yes.
Somebody had made a mistake.
Yes.
So it allowed the person who won to actually take off the throttle and run a little bit more conservative. So it's kind of a weird anomaly that you would see that, but at least it has a logical conclusion to it.
It has a logical conclusion to it, and this is how these knockout rounds work. It's the best against the best. It's not, if you were to take all the times, we would have seen a completely different competition, but it's a head-to-head knockout. That's where the pressure is. That's where the difficulty is. You are running the race that is there next to you in that moment, not any other race.
And that's where the precision comes into, as you saw Yuri in the highlights, just hitting the bell. I mean, just a fraction of an inch away, and he misses that. So it's so tight. Anything could happen, any slight mistake, and you have to be perfect through each round to get to the point that they are right now. Getting all the adulations, getting the champagne, and
I love this
getting a big fat check. And here's a bunch of people who are about to get wet with the sweetest shower that you'll ever get. Now these are endurance, healthy athletes. They're not used to popping bottles too many times, but it looks like Yuri has it. Tiana's having the roughest time with it. Kasia knows what to do. This is the only thing Tiana Webberley needed help with today, was being able to pop champagne. But when she gets it, it'll be the best what she does of her life. Come on, T. You can do it, sweet T. It's a team effort to get this bottle popped. Augie Radan is pushing it back into the bottle. I can't believe it, but we're doing commentary on champagne, and there she goes.
There's only one thing that Tiana Webberley needs to practice, and that is champagne.
This was an absolute pleasure sharing this event with you, sharing all the action, all the ups and downs and the craziness of today. Francesca, thank you so much for being here today with me.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for joining me here and being alongside me for the Spartan 100-meter World Championship, this historic moment in this beautiful, historic city. Thank you so much.
Now, the 100-meter race is in the books, ladies and gentlemen.